Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another foundation review. This one's been an interesting one. I have actually had a lot of requests to review this foundation and I've been looking at reviews online and they're actually, it's really weird, like a lot of them are 5 stars, but then a lot of them are 1 star. So it doesn't really give an accurate indication of whether or not this is actually going to, like if you're based on the reviews, you'd be like, well, this doesn't help me at all. I've got no idea. So in today's video, we're going to be reviewing the Stila Lingerie Souffle Skin Perfecting Color. So this is a souffle foundation. And I know I was the same. I was like, we're trying everything now. It's got 70% water. It's meant to be very lightweight, very refreshing, very nice for all day wear, light to medium coverage. Apparently the pigments in this melt on contact, blending into the skin for a really perfected look, and it's formulated with a whole bunch of skin loving stuff and natural botanicals. So yeah, like I said, I've had a lot of requests to review this foundation, and I have been into more sort of like lightweight foundations recently, just ones that are really nice and feel really nice on the skin to be worn, you know, all day, whether that's at work or at school or, you know, whatever it is that you're doing. I haven't been into wearing heavy kind of foundations during the day. So I'm interested in trying this out. Now, as per all of my reviews, I will be leaving this on my skin for at least 12 hours at the bare minimum. If you are new here to my channel, I've got a very oily skin type. I've got textured skin. I've got breakouts. Like there's nothing perfect going on about my face. So basically I'll wear this, I'll show you close up the application, the formula, and then how it wears throughout the day. So if you're interested in watching that, then please stick around. So this is what the actual box looks like. You get 30 ml of product in there. I've got the shade 3.0. Now shade range is quite small. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 8 shades, but that might work because it is a lower sort of coverage foundation. So they call it skin perfecting color. They don't even necessarily call it foundation. Yeah, I'm curious to see how this goes. Also on the website, it says you can apply it pretty much any way that you like. You can blend it in with your fingers or with any other tool. So I'm assuming brushes and sponges, you know, both work exactly the same. Now the packaging is pretty cool. So this is what the actual packaging looks like. It is pretty cool. It feels very heavy. This is like a little glass jar. Got a sticker on the bottom, but it does feel very luxe, very, very heavy, like I said. That is what the actual product looks like on the inside. I do actually want to touch it and see what it feels like. I feel like it'll be interesting. I'm in a situation where this is stuck on me now though. Damn it. So is it, oh, yep. It is very moussey in consistency. Huh, it's pretty cool actually. It has got a slight scent to it, nothing overpowering or anything. Kind of wobbles in there. Oh, it makes me want chocolate mousse. All right, so as per all of my foundation reviews, I'm going to prime only half of my face so we can see how the product works with and without a primer. And I think we'll try blending it in with, maybe we'll try fingers, a sponge, and a brush, just so that we know exactly. I just think it's really interesting that the reviews are so divided. Like, they're literally 50% of them are 5 stars, 50% are 1 star. So it's confusing. All right, so half my face is primed. Let's have a little go. I'll try it with a sponge first, and then we'll move on to other application methods. Ooh, maybe I'll try with a brush first, actually. So I'm going to use that product that I've got on the lid first. It feels quite odd on the skin. Like, it does feel like mousse, like for sure. But I'm going to dot that all over. And then taking a foundation brush, I'm going to start to buff that in. Oh wow, it feels very, very lightweight. So weird. Souffle foundation. Okay, the first thing that I'm noticing, it is sticking to dry spots like no other. I've got a couple of dry spots here on my chin where I've absolutely attacked some acne that I had recently. I use some masks and stuff that dries them out. And I don't know if you can see, but you can see all of those dry spots on the skin there. Like they're lighter than the rest of the foundation. So that's one thing. So probably if you've got a dry skin type, this may not be ideal, but we'll see. It is blending out really nicely. Like it feels very smooth on the skin. Definitely light to medium coverage. It's not so much a foundation. It's more of a kind of like a tinted moisturizer, I guess you could say. Oh my God, I got it on my microphone. We'll deal with that later. It does feel really nice, but like, I'm going to zoom you in so you can see this. Like, this is bad. So hopefully you can see here on my skin, see how it's sticking to these little spots and just making them look like much lighter than the rest of my skin. Like, that is really, really weird. So yeah, if you've got patches of dry skin, you're probably going to hate it. It's more of a skin tint, really. You cannot feel it at all on the skin now that it's blended in. Like, it literally feels like I've put nothing on. And yeah, those spots just get more. Like, look at those spots on my chin. Look what it's doing to those dry patches. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. I've never had a foundation do that ever before. That is bad. I'm going to have a go on the other side with a sponge now. Oh God, that looks so bad on my chin. But hopefully this might make a difference. We'll see. Picking it up on the sponge. I'm going to start to blend that in. And I wonder if using it over my chin on the sponge will help with what's going on there. Look. Okay, do not like it with a sponge at all. Funnily enough, it actually creates a lot of texture on the skin when used with a sponge. Get a much better finish with a brush. I'll try with my fingers as well. I hate applying foundations with my fingers. Like, I really do not like it at all. It's just messy. You end up getting foundation all over your clothes, and I'm not really a fan. It's fairly patchy when you apply it with your fingers. So for me, a brush definitely is going to be the way to go in with this. Yeah, it's much nicer with a brush, and it kind of works well if you know, work it into the skin. Like buffing motions. But like, it hasn't settled down on my chin there at all. I don't know about this, guys. I'm not mad about the coverage. I'm aware that it's, you know, low to medium coverage, and I actually think that it does look quite nice and lightweight. But for foundation to do this on dry spots, like, that's not okay. It looks very patchy. It looks very clingy. It's clinging to pretty much anything on my skin that's not 100% smooth, which is pretty much everywhere. Like, it's clinging on my pores, on my nose. It's clinging to the pores on the side of my nose. Like, look what it's done here. It's created so much texture. It's clinging all on these little spots. It's clinging to acne. Like, unless your skin's already perfect, I don't know how anyone's going to be able to use this. I might try applying a little bit of concealer to the areas where it is emphasizing the texture and things like that, see if that makes a bit of a difference. But Jesus, as a first impression, I do not like this at all. I don't think I've ever had something look this bad. I'm going to try the NARS one, the Radiant Creamy. Pop it on my chin. Like, I'm hoping and praying that this might correct it in some way. I've got to film other videos today. Like, I can't really look like this. Okay, that did help cover it up, thankfully. But what's the point in wearing a foundation if you have to go around and fix the issues that it has caused with the concealer? Like, that completely defeats the purpose. Also completely defeats the purpose of a low coverage foundation, because you want to not have to wear much makeup to actually be able to, like, that's the whole purpose of it. So I'm going to pop a little, I mean, let's be real, a lot of concealer on my nose. And then I'll pop a little under my eyes as well. Be interested to see if anything changes throughout the day as my oils come through as well. You know, if things settle, if things look better, if things look worse. I am confused though, because the 5-star reviews are like raving about this stuff. Like, some of them even say, I'll read you a couple of them. Some of them even say that, like, it's the best foundation to wear to the gym because it's just so perfect and smooth and oil proof. And this one's interesting. It has adjusting pigments, so it can look patchy and blotchy at first, but then it settles beautifully. My holy grail. Amazing, perfect light coverage for weekends, great product. This is really, really confusing. All right, so the concealer is blended in for the most part. I feel like it's still a little patchy on my nose, but that's okay. We'll fix it with setting powder. I don't feel like my skin looks cute at all. Like, I've got some other low coverage foundations that I absolutely adore, and they don't cause this sort of a reaction on my skin. I'll zoom you guys in so you can see what I mean. But here is my skin close up. So this is the side without the primer. Look at the texture underneath my nose here. Bizarre. The concealer did do a reasonable job of covering up those weird dry spots that the foundation did cling to. I don't mind how it looks in this sort of an area. I don't feel like it looks as bad there, maybe. Might even look worse on the side where we've got the primer than the side without. I don't know, it's weird. weird. I just don't feel like my skin looks cute at all, to be honest. But I'm going to stick this video out and finish it. I mean, from a distance, I feel like my skin doesn't look too bad. And like I said, I'm not mad about the coverage. I know that this is a low coverage foundation. I'm not like, oh, it's not covering up anything. I'm not expecting it to, but I'm also not expecting a product to cause so much texture and patchiness on the skin. So side without the primer here, side with the primer here. Yeah, I guess some pros is it does feel incredibly lightweight. It feels like velvet on the skin. It does not in any way feel like I'm wearing a foundation at all. I'd be curious to know, let me know in the comments, have you tried this foundation? What do you think? Really curious to know, but I'm gonna set it down with some setting powder, see how that goes. I'll finish off the rest of my makeup and I'll come back and I'll give you a final look, but hopefully it settles. Like some of those reviews did say that it does settle, but I wouldn't feel great putting this on and then walking straight out the door. Like I really wouldn't. All right, so I'm back and I've got the rest of my makeup on. Admittedly, I do feel like my skin looks a little better than it did earlier. I did my eyes and my brows and stuff, and then I powdered my skin after that. And I do feel like the foundation, well, the skin perfector, whatever we're gonna call it, I do feel like it did settle a little on the skin. I'm not 100% hating how my skin is looking right now. Like I do feel like it doesn't look too bad, but by all means, it certainly does not look perfect. So I'll zoom you in and give you a closer look. So here is my skin close up. Definitely adding setting powder really helped to smooth it all out, but I do still feel like my skin looks quite dry, much drier than it would look normally. Definitely though, can say it does not feel like I'm wearing foundation at all. It literally feels like I've powdered bare skin. It is so lightweight on the skin. Here is the side with the actual primer. I feel like it looks a little patchy down here. Not terrible though. It's quite smooth on my forehead. My nose is looking quite smooth now that I've got that powder on. I do feel like you can still see those little spots just here, here, here. It was so strange. Like once the foundation went on, they actually got lighter. I mean, you guys saw it happen on camera, so you know what I mean. But yeah, this is what my skin is looking like now. I don't hate it. I really hated it earlier, but now that I've got setting powder on, I don't hate it. So it will be very interesting to see how this wears during the day. We'll see how this goes. I will see you guys in about 6 hours. We'll do a midday check-in, and then I'll see you again tonight when I've been wearing it all day. So hopefully maybe things will get better and not worse. We will see. All right, guys, so I'm back with my first check-in for this foundation, and to be honest, I'm not mad at how things are looking at this point in time. I feel like it looks a lot more natural. I feel like it looks glowier. It doesn't look as dry, it doesn't look as textured. It actually isn't looking too bad on my skin. Still not the smoothest foundation I've ever seen, but at the same time, it's a whole lot better than what it was, so I mean, that's saying something. I'll zoom you in. So here is my skin nice and close up. This is the side where we did not apply any primer. It's definitely smoothed out a lot. It still feels really, really lightweight. It's actually doing a surprisingly good job of controlling oil production too. Like I don't feel like I really look particularly shiny at all. We are at about the probably 5.5 hour mark now. It still feels incredibly lightweight. I'm actually quite impressed, to be honest. I thought it would be looking a whole lot worse than it does. So here is the side with the primer. It's still looking quite patchy down here. That hasn't changed at all during the day. But I do feel definitely as an overall that my skin is looking a lot more smooth, just healthier. And it truly is quite amazing. Like it does not feel like I'm wearing a foundation at all. Even when I touch my skin, it's really, really lightweight. So very, very impressed. Definitely not as angry as I was earlier on. I was like, oh, this is not going well. There might be a little bit of separation sort of happening here. We've definitely still got texture in some areas, but it's certainly smoothed out way more than it was earlier. So yeah, I will see you guys again later on tonight for the final look and the final check-in. Hey guys, so I'm back with my final check-in for the day. I'm kind of still, this has been very much mixed results today. This is very much like I'm kind of on the fence with this one. Certainly my skin looks much better than it did when I originally applied this product. It doesn't look as cakey, it doesn't look as dry, it doesn't look as textured. It has held up very, very well during the day. You can see that I'm quite shiny now, but at the same time, it doesn't look particularly hideous at all. It just looks sort of like dewy-ish. I don't know, it's still patchy here. That patchiness that was there when I originally applied the product, that stayed there all day. That hasn't sort of dissipated as my natural oils have come through. There's still texture here on my cheek. It's separating a little bit on my chin. This is a really, really tricky one. So here is my skin on the side where I have no primer. You can sort of see that texture that I'm talking about just here on my cheek. And it is starting to sort of separate down here on my chin. Definitely on my top lip. But as far as the oil goes, like, it hasn't broken up as my oils have come through. I feel like it's stayed reasonably okay. And then this is the side here with the primer. Oh, sorry, did I say this side had primer? This side had no primer. This is the side with the primer. This down here is that patchiness that I was talking about as well. It's sort of come off on my top lip a little bit. Very smooth on my forehead. I'm very happy with how my forehead is looking. I feel like my forehead looks great. But everywhere else, and I mean, still those spots that were on my chin, you can still see them. They are quite pronounced. They are quite emphasized, especially this one here. That there's like a little patch of dry skin from me using medicated acne treatments, and it's just sort of dried out that particular spot. I've never had a foundation show up dry spots as aggressively as this one did. I think this is a product that I'm going to have to continue testing and continue playing with to see exactly exactly if I can get it to work. Certainly, like for certain, if you've got dry skin or if you suffer from, dry flaky areas on your skin, I would avoid this like the plague. Like, honestly, it just emphasizes dry patches so much. And even when the product comes into contact with those dry patches, it's nearly like it lightens it and changes color. It's very weird. And you guys saw that earlier on in the video. So certainly if you're a dry skin type or someone who suffers like a lot of that kind of stuff, I would be avoiding this. At the same time though, it is very, very lightweight. I do find that, it does wear well during the day, especially on my oily skin. Like, normally most foundations, like by this point of the day, I am a hot mess. They've just completely separated and pretty much slid right off with the oil. So definitely I can say this one does hold up with oils. As far as initially when you first apply it, it looks like crap, to be honest. It looks so patchy. It looks so textured. Everything just looks so dry, like it's had all of the moisture sucked out of it. But then after about an hour, things do sort of smooth out, things do settle, and it does kind of blend into itself, kind of a thing, blend into your skin and look a lot more natural. Certainly it's a light to medium coverage, and it is so lightweight on the skin. It does not feel like you're wearing a foundation at all. But with that in mind, like, there's too many cons to make the pros worth it, kind of a thing. It's been a really odd experience with this one today. There's definitely a few pros, but there's a lot of cons with this one. I'd be really interested to know if you do have this and you do love it. How do you wear it? How do you apply it? What do you wear it on top of? I'd be curious to know if anyone's been able to get this to work for them. That's probably why the reviews are so skewed. Like, there's the 5 stars and then there's the 1 stars. There's literally nothing in the middle. People either hate it or love it. It's quite a polarizing product, this one, but yeah, I want to know, have you tried it? What do you think? I will continue testing it. I'm going to give it another go when I'm not using acne treatments on my skin and I'm not sort of drying out, areas of my skin. I'm going to give it another go and see if I get the same weird patchiness sort of happening. I would say if you've got no dry patches and you're looking for a very sheer wash of color, that's basically like a tinted moisturizer, you'll probably really enjoy it. And I mean, the texture and the feel of the product on the skin is really nice, but there's too many cons for me to be like, yes. I mean, certainly based on what we're seeing today, it's for sure not worth the money. So anyway, it's kind of an inconclusive review, this one. Like I said, I will keep testing it. I will update you. Let me know how you wear it. Let me know what you do. Weird product. But I hope that you still found today's video helpful. If you've got any questions about anything at all, whether it's a foundation or something completely random, what I had for breakfast, whatever, leave it in the comment section down below. I'll be hanging out down there answering all your questions. Also, video requests, product review requests, pop all of them down there as well. I feel like I'm kind of in a bit of like a creative, I'm like, oh, what do I film? I need you guys to tell me exactly what you want to see, because I'm kind of having a moment. So yeah, if you've got anything in particular that you're wanting to see, please let me know. And yes, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I love you all so, so much, and I will catch you guys in my next one.